Alright, good morning everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome. How is everyone today? What's up, what's up? Today is Tuesday, the 7th of September 2021. I am DSP and I welcome you here to my first of two gameplay streams for the day. It's time to wake up! Sorry to yell, but people are kind of quiet today in the stream chat, and I need people to wake up and smell the coffee, as they say. That's right. It is time for a fun and full day of streams. And I hope that you guys are ready for a fun and full day of streams. What are we doing today? We're going to talk about that. We actually got a cool announcement today that I want to talk about on pre-stream. Really, there's two big news stories today in gaming. And then there's a news story about something coming up on Thursday to talk about. So three things to really talk about news-wise today. But anyway, welcome everyone. Today it is the continuation of Psychonauts 2, a game that has pleasantly surprised me since I started playing it a little over a week ago. I actually feel that so far, in a relatively slow year for games, it actually is one of the best games of 2021. I don't know if that will hold, considering that in just, a week here, we've got multiple new releases. We got non-stop new releases coming out for the next 2 to 3 months. And it's a very, very, high chance that some of the best games of the year are about to be seen and played by us, right? But as for what's already come out this year, I mean, I could probably count on one hand the number of good games that I played. And Psychonauts 2, even though it plays like an old school platformer from the mid-2000s, absolutely is one of the best games. Great graphics, really interesting writing and plot, cool gameplay mechanics. The only, thing that I would argue is that the platforming itself is a little bit outdated. It definitely feels a little bit like wonky-ish, kind of like I said, like a mid-2000s platformer. But outside of that, I'm really enjoying myself with this game. At this point, we're almost done with it. I have 2 mini dungeons to complete, and then we head into basically the end game. But the end game, apparently, this game is quite lengthy. So I would estimate 2 to 3 more streams to wrap this up. Okay, that would be my estimate. 2 to 3 more streams of Psychonauts 2 to complete the playthrough. Alright? So, I'm excited for this today. Like I said, we were in one of these mini dungeons last time around, and then I had to take a break because, ran out of time to play. It's been several days since I played the game. I've been playing Tormented Souls so much since last Friday that I haven't gotten back to this yet. Today we are finally coming back to continue on with this playthrough, okay? So for those of you who've been liking the playthrough, obviously this is great news. I'll be playing it today. I'll probably be playing it again over the course of the weekend, maybe like Sunday. And then, like I said, depending on how long it is, maybe one more stream after that until we wrap it up, okay? So that's the plan. I hope that sounds good to everyone here. So let's see how we do today in Psychonauts 2. Then tonight, the late stream will be a random late night multiplayer stream of Fall Guys. When I play this game, it's usually pretty random and silly fun. You guys seem to enjoy it, especially if I do it for variety. If I do it on the regular, you guys say that I do it too often, it gets boring. But I haven't played it in a while. I played it for the first time about a week and a half ago. To basically get caught up, I hadn't played it in months and months and months. I had missed 2 big updates. And I played it, and I played a bunch of the new stages, and I actually liked the new stages. I found them quite entertaining. So, tonight, a nice fun random multiplayer stream of Fall Guys should be pretty cool for variety. Tomorrow is the conclusion of Tormented Souls. I am now about 9 hours into the game, and people have reported it's about 10 to 12 hours long. Now, I took my time investigating around and looking for every item and reading every log, so likely more around 12 hours, and based on where I am in the game, someone who beat it last time said, yeah, you probably got one more stream to wrap it up. So, Tormented Souls, concluding tomorrow, which should be pretty cool, alright? I'm excited for that. And then tomorrow night will be more Hades. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were not here for Hades last night, you really missed out, because number one, it was the first time that I actually focused in on the bow, which is a unique weapon that is ranged rather than most of the other weapons require you to be close to the enemies. This weapon is all about, staying away and using all kinds of different builds with the bow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to report that after 2 attempts, 2 completely different builds with the bow, I defeated Hades last night. Yes, I beat Hades, the boss. I did not beat the game, because the game does not end when you defeat Hades. What happens is the game basically opens up to even more content. Okay? I believe you have to totally beat the game, like beat him 10 times or something like that in order to see the true ending. So there will be more Hades gameplay tomorrow night. I will continue on. What I'm hoping now is I've gotten so much unlocked that I should be able to keep doing good builds every run and you know, beat him relatively consistently. The only thing I'm worried about is maybe everything else in the game got tougher too. And if that's the case, then I guess we'll see how things go Wednesday night. Okay? Alright, now, Thursday is my normal day off this week. I know I already had a day off on Sunday, but that was a special day to celebrate my wife's birthday with her. Thursday is my normal day off where we're running errands, we have appointments, all the stuff that normally we would do on our day off. We have to do this coming Thursday. So that's Thursday for me. I'm not here. When I return on Friday, it is the premiere of Life is Strange True Colors right here on the stream. I'm excited to try this game out. It is the first Life is Strange game ever that is not episodic. It allows you to play it non-stop without interruption. So you could just play it from start to finish. Of course, no one really knows how long the game is yet. Typically, a Life is Strange game would be around 5 episodes, and each episode would run around 3 to 3.5 hours. So you would surmise the game will be between 10 and 15 hours long, but no one really knows yet. All right? Friday night will be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session where I play old school Street Fighter for a couple of hours. Then on Saturday, we'll do more Life is Strange and pair it with more Hades. On Sunday, we'll do more Psychonauts 2, and Sunday night will be my Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. Now, I am going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. It is one of my longest streaming weeks, 7 straight days. This coming Tuesday, there's another new release in Deathloop. This is the game from the makers of Dishonored that essentially is kind of a combination of Dishonored plus a roguelike game. You're trying to take out certain targets, but they are completely surrounded by defenses, you know, traps, all kinds of stuff. And there's someone hunting you. So you have to try to hunt people while someone's hunting you. If you die, you essentially got to start over, but hopefully you've unlocked things and or learned enough about the layout of the stage that you could try again in a different method and see if you can win, much like any other roguelike game. Okay? So, 2 new games this week in Life is Strange True Colors and Deathloop. Plus, yes, I will be concluding Tormented Souls tomorrow, and I'll be concluding Psychonauts 2 over the course of this week as well. So that's a good variety coming up. There'll definitely be more Hades. There'll definitely be Street Fighter. Definitely Flight Simulator. Maybe we'll do some more Fall Guys. Maybe I'll have a chance to do a few random late night things, like maybe actually finally get back to Grounded. You know, that was a game that I played on Xbox Series X when I first got it. That intrigued me. I said I might maybe want to do this for some late night chill streams. Okay. So, good stuff. Good stuff, my friends. Coming up. What else? I'm just trying to think, is there anything else in particular about the streams coming up that I want to mention? Not really particularly. What I'll say is this, guys. Thank you so much for your support so far this month. We're only 7 days in, 1 week, and already outstanding levels of support every day. Memberships, super chats, tips. Everything's been great. I got 0 complaints so far in September. In fact, we're currently at 270 members, the most we've ever had on DSPGaming. That is right. We are currently at the highest level of support we've ever had on the channel. And I love that. Thank you guys so much. By the way, we hit a new milestone of subscriptions this month, too. Over 193,000 and climbing. More people subscribing because they want to be able to talk on the streams, of course. So this is really awesome that we're actually seeing growth here on DSPGaming for the first time in like 5 effing years that I focused on that. Okay? So thank you for that very, very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Okay? Look at this idiot. Get rid of this moron. There we go. Okay. So, good stuff all around, guys. Now, currently, the goal for the month is 285 members. We already have locked in a special Halloween event where on Halloween this year, I'll be dressed up in costume and playing a variety of games in a marathon setting, games that you guys are going to nominate and vote on shortly. In fact, I think it will actually be over this coming weekend that I will set up your ability to start nominating games for that event. And also, I should mention this. For those people who become channel members and have said, man, you know, I wish there was more than just getting emotes and a highlighted name in chat. Soon, as a member of this channel, all right, you're going to be able to nominate games that you want to see for the upcoming marathon event. And the members will have priority, because I'm actually going to do a members-only community post on my YouTube channel here, where only members will be able to post up, and you'll be able to nominate the games that you want to see during the event. I'm going to narrow those down to the most nominated games and do a poll for you guys, and the members will vote on that poll, and whatever game wins that poll will be played during the marathon, guaranteed. Okay? Pretty awesome. That is a feature of being a member outside of just the normal stuff. Okay? Now, if we hit 285 total members this month at any point, so we still have 3 weeks to do so, then you guys are going to be able to help pick out the costume that I'm going to wear for the Halloween event. What's going to happen is over the course of this month, my wife and I are going to go out to different Halloween stores and party stores around this area and get some ideas for costumes that I could wear on Halloween. We're then going to narrow it down to a certain amount of categories. So, for example, comic book character, video game character, pop culture icon, classic Hollywood movie monster, etc. And once we have those categories fixed on things that I can do for each one, then if we do hit this members goal, you guys are going to vote on the category of costume you want to see. And then based on what you vote for, that's going to determine the costume that I end up getting. Okay? Pretty cool. Every year we usually do it this way. Usually it works out very well. You guys love the interactivity that you get and the amount of power that you get to kind of mold this particular event. All right? So, thank you in advance to anyone who becomes a channel member. You get so many benefits for becoming a channel member here, including a highlighted name in the chat, not having to abide by the slow mode rules that are currently in effect to stop trolling. You get access to 20 emotes in climbing. When we hit 250 members, we unlock the 20th emote, which is me with the PS4 controller and headset. And when we hit 300 members, there'll be another emote slot unlocked and growing. Every 50 after that, we get another emote, okay? So that's really cool. In addition, you get a cool chat crown badge next to your name to show how long that you've been an ongoing supporter. Next month, some of you are going to hit the beginning of your 6th month of support, which means we're going to see crowns with rubies. Wow. Ubisoft on the head. Crowns with rubies and emeralds all over them. It's going to be pretty neat. I'm excited for this. I hope you guys are too. All right. So, very nice. Thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel already. And if you have not become a member as of yet, what are you waiting for? Right? Seriously. What are you waiting for? You absolutely should become a member if you have not. It helps the channel. You get a bunch of benefits out of it. You're going to get an exclusive benefit this month in regards to the Halloween event. So, okay? All right, guys. So thank you in advance, everyone, for everything. Thank you for all your support lately. I've already mentioned how you can become a channel member. If you also want to support the channel in a different way, you could maybe do a super chat or a super sticker. And if you do this, basically you're doing a contribution through YouTube itself. It highlights your message in the chat so that everyone can see it. It's pretty cool. And memberships and super chats, super stickers, they all support the channel in the long term. And what I mean by that is I see some positive benefit from that in about a month's time, sometimes a month and a half. YouTube has a processing time before they pay you for that kind of stuff. But if you want to help the channel directly today in the best way possible, the absolute best way to support the channel is by tipping me. Okay? When you tip me, I get those funds immediately. And when you tip me, that is the method of contribution by which the least transactional fee is applied. You see what I'm saying? So, please consider tipping me if you want to support the channel in the strongest way possible today. You can tip me either by looking at the description of the stream or by typing !tip into the stream chat. All right, either method is great. Since tips are so important and they are the best way to contribute, excuse me, gunked up here today. Since they are the best way to contribute, we have goals and rewards set for tips. If we raise $50 in tips today, I will put on my pair of gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, you guys will get to pick a hat for me to wear. And the hat selections today include the digital camo, the military style, the camo boonie hat, or the Platinum Tips hair hat, which I wore twice yesterday. Pretty weird hat, okay? Also, if we hit the full tips goal, which is $150 on the stream, you guys will get to pick a vest for me to wear. Vests today include the red, the denim, the camo, and the gold. The only one that's not eligible is platinum, because we actually did wear that one yesterday. I don't want to wear the same vest every day, okay? So pretty good. Thank you guys in advance for any contributions. Keep in mind, I'm an independent content creator, all right? I don't have any partnerships. I don't have any sponsorships. This is why you don't hear me shilling products on my stream. This is why you don't see any paid advertisement streams on my channel. It's because I am a guy who is just like you. I'm a fan of games, a lifelong fan who's been doing this, you know, playing games since he was a kid. It's my hobby, and then being able to do it as my job, I understand how incredibly lucky I am and how grateful I am that you guys support me and allow me to do this for a living and tell me what I do has intrinsic value. That doing this, the way that I do it, being honest, not shilling, right? Being real with you guys every day, having meaningful conversation and direct interactions with all of my stream viewers every day has meaning to you guys, and that you want to see it continue to happen, all right? So thank you in advance to anyone who would, you know, seek to support this channel and allow me to do what I love. It's because of your crowdfunding that I am still here, and I am very appreciative of that, okay? All right, folks. We have 3 game stories to talk about today. Let's start talking about them. The first is that this coming Thursday, there is a Sony event. They're not calling it State of Play. They're calling it something different. They're hinting this is going to be a big one. That at this Sony event, digital event, on Thursday, there's going to be tons of reveals. We're talking updates on big game franchises that we want updates on. Perhaps Horizon, Forbidden West, or God of War. Okay? Or maybe big surprises. Some of the things that have been rumored are as maybe Infamous is coming back as a franchise under Sony. That after the success of Ghost of Tsushima, Sucker Punch has decided to continue on with Infamous to have 2 killer franchises. Okay? There's also a rumor that there's going to be a remake of the Metal Gear Solid trilogy by Blue Point, the same company that redid Demon's Souls. That's a major rumor. Okay? So there's a lot of rumors going on about what's going to actually be presented this coming Thursday, and no one really knows what to expect. Okay? I'm not here on Thursday. It figures, right? So I almost never have a Thursday off, right? This week, randomly, I'm having Thursday off. Oh, that's the day of the big Sony event, right? Oh, on my day off. Everything just happens on my day off. You notice that, right? So all that being said, let's hope it's a good event. I hope that there's a ton of information released. I do hope that we get really good, definitive answers on some of these games we've had lingering, burning questions about for a long time. COVID delayed a ton of stuff, and now we're just like, when the hell is this coming out? Is this even coming out? What's the status of this? I hope we get tons of updates. A huge, cumulative update on everything Sony. You know, I hate to say it, but right now, Sony was looking like the console leader with the amount of exclusives they had, and then all of a sudden in the last year, they all kind of fizzled out because either they were delayed or now they're not exclusives anymore. Now they're cross-platform between PS4 and PS5, which means, you know, a lot of us that bought PS5 are like, wow, we bought it to play all these exclusives. There are none, right? All the games are now cross-platform because of COVID. No one can get a PS5, so they're just making them all cross-platform. And it's like, what did I drop this money for? You know what I mean? You know, and being honest, there's not a major difference, really, of performance of cross-platform games between the Xbox and the PS5 right now. They're pretty much equivalent. So you could own either console and get the same experience. So a lot of people who went nuts to get a PS5 at this point are kind of scratching their head wondering why they did. And I kind of understand that question and concern. So we shall see on Thursday what Sony has in store for us. Obviously, I'm excited for it. I hope that it's all good stuff. I hope that it's not like, oh, we're here to talk about Deathloop and Kena Bridge of Spirits. Like, dude, those games are coming out in like a fucking week. We don't want to see those in the Sony event. If anything, we've seen way enough about those games. Do new stuff. Give us information about what we're craving, not shit we already know about. Right? So, hopefully, it's a good event. I guess we're going to find out. Alright? Alright. Okay. Announcement number 2. Well, not really announcement number 2. News story number 2. Sonic Colors Ultimate released today. And originally I was going to play it. But with the fact that this game essentially has been reviewed poorly by most people who've actually played the early version, I've decided to skip it for multiple reasons. First of all, I don't think it's worth it to drop $40 on a game that sounds like a bad port. Okay? By all reports, this game does not sound like it's polished at all. There's audio bugs, there's visual bugs, there's game save corruption, the UI glitches, and essentially people are saying it should not have come out like this. This obviously is a hack job. That's not good. Now, not everyone is having the horrible situation. You guys know me, though. You guys know that if there is a bug, I will run into it, right? And I guess what people are saying is, yeah, this just, you're calling it Ultimate. This is like worse than the original. It really is. Like, it's unstable. It's like they should actually call it Sonic Colors Unstable Edition, because that's essentially what it is. Now, apparently, the game makers have offered a patch and said they will try their best to push out a patch for the game that's going to make it more polished, but too little too late. The game is out now, you know? The game is out right this moment for sale. How the hell did you not know your game was a buggy mess before you fucking released it for sale, man? Enough is enough with this shit, right? We are all tired of being beta testers. Why the fuck do we pay money to play a game that's not done, and then they fix it after the fact? No, you fix it first, and you sell the finished product. When I go to McDonald's and I order a Big Mac, do they hand you a sandwich with half a bun, one piece of cheese, and half of a burger and say, oh, we'll give you the other half later? When you buy a car, do you drive out of the lot with a car that's missing half its parts and it falls apart in the middle of the street? Oh, we'll give you the rest of the parts in a week. No. When you pay for something, you get it functional then and there, right? So it's pretty simple. Either sell a fucking finished product that's polished or don't sell it at all. It's a ripoff. And I'm angry. I'm actually genuinely angry because I love Sonic Colors. I played it back in the day on the Wii. It was the first major 3D Sonic game I ever played outside of Sonic Adventure and Sonic 06, which was terrible. So for me, I was like, wow, even though this game is not necessarily very challenging, it's a breath of fresh air. It's relaxing. It's fun. It's colorful. The soundtrack was really good. I basically thought it was a super fun game, but not a crazy challenging one. I didn't feel accomplished when I beat it, but man, I had a good fun with the ride. Okay? But how messed up was it that now they're re-releasing and calling it Ultimate, and it's broken? I mean, that would be the same as going to Burger King and ordering their delicious new Spicy Chicken sandwich, and they hand you this. Can you imagine if you went to Burger King and you said, give me your new chicken sandwich, and they handed you this snot-covered, dripping, oozing, pussy mess? Could you imagine that? How upset would you be, right? Well, now imagine spending $40 and they give you a broken version of Sonic Colors. And that's what's going on right now. So, it's not acceptable behavior. And that's why I skipped it. Alright? Now, it very well may be that in the long term, alright, they may fix the game. Alright? What they may actually do is they might actually get napkins and vacuums and suck up all this pus. They're going to suck this pus and goo out of here, dry it up, dab it up with some napkins, make it actually look presentable, give you a nice fresh bun that's toasted nicely and not saturated completely with disgusting sauce. And then maybe it'll be edible. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it will be an actual palatable version of Sonic Colors. And if that's the case, maybe I'll get it eventually in the long run. But there is no way, absolutely no way, I am spending $40 to get this. I am not wasting my time and money, especially when I'm in the midst of other playthroughs. I've got to finish up Tormented Souls. We've got to make progress and try to finish up Psychonauts 2. We got Life is Strange premiering on Friday. We got Deathloop on Tuesday. We've got stuff to do. So it's not like I need another filler game to interject in there. You know, it was just I wanted to play it because I really liked the original, and I'm very disappointed with how this turned out. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. Now, let's continue, because we have one more announcement today, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the rumors are true. After 2 months of swirling rumors, it is true. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few weeks, we will have the return of Alan Wake. That's right. Because Jasper just looked at me like, what the hell are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Alan Wake Remastered is coming out soon. Some websites have already listed it for sale on October 5th. It hasn't been confirmed yet that that's the sale date, but it has been confirmed the game is real. The game is coming out within the next couple of months. All right? Now, for those of you who don't remember Alan Wake, it was 10 years ago on a dark and stormy night that I booted up the game for the very first time. And as I was about to start, my power went out. I'm not kidding. My power actually went off when I used to record back in the condo in Connecticut. The power went off. Okay? So then the power went back on, and I recorded for about an hour and a half. Okay? And then the power went out again, and that time it went out for 10 straight hours. So back then, I used to actually record with a camera. It wasn't direct capture or anything. So I was able to actually capture the power turning off, and I grabbed a flashlight, and I was walking around with the flashlight talking, and it was funny as shit, but it was pretty disappointing because it was the release day of the game. I wasn't able to upload videos until the next day because my power was out. But it ended up being some of the most epic playthrough stuff I did because at that time, you know, me doing games the way I did. Back then, the way I did it was that guerrilla style with the camera. As soon as the game came out, I played it release night, played a ton of it, like 2-3 hours, got it up on the internet right away, and then within the first few days of the game being out, essentially I would play it till I beat it, and I would be one of the people to have the full playthrough out almost immediately, okay? Alan Wake was the exception because, number one, the game is long. The game is actually between 15 and 20 hours long, which I certainly didn't expect. I thought that it would be a shorter game, being that it was supposed to be a horror-style suspense game. In addition, the game, I hate to say it, basically starts off strong and has a really great plot, and the plot is good for the whole game, but the gameplay definitely wavers about halfway through. Halfway through, the game becomes incredibly monotonous and tedious, wandering through these dark areas with a flashlight, having to fight ridiculous amounts of repetitive enemies. There are some cool scares, there are some cool unique boss fights and things in the game that I remember. Like, I remember this, the part where there's the concert and stuff. Like, I remember really neat parts of the game. But at the same time, I also remember, unlike other playthroughs that I was doing at this time, this game was going on and on and on. And I started playing it earlier in the week. I hadn't even beaten it by the weekend. So this was the times when John Rambo used to actually start coming by to do co-op with me. And he came by that weekend to join me for the conclusion of Alan Wake. And it was like, even then that day, we thought we'd beat it in like 2-3 hours. It took like 6-7 hours to beat it. The end was just ridiculously long and drawn out. So, the game is good. The game, if you've ever seen the series Twin Peaks, okay? Or, you know, any of these kind of horror movies where people are out in the woods and on the run from some supernatural entity or something like that, essentially that's what the game capitalizes on. You're in a small mountain town. You don't know what's going on. Apparently there's possibly a string of murders or weird behavior going on. And you're caught between what appears to be almost like two worlds, a supernatural world and a real world. And there's these beings after you in the woods, and you need a flashlight to try to defeat them. And as the game goes on and on and on, more and more and more happens. Okay? More and more and more happens. And I don't want to spoil the plot for those of you who essentially have not watched a playthrough or played the game yourself. It is one of the more cool thriller style plots out there for a video game. At the same time, I do know that, you know, even once you beat the game, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and there were 2 other DLCs available that you had to play. I think one was called The Writer and one was called The Signal or something like that. And you had to play those in order to really understand the full plot of the game. This remastered edition is going to come with the original game plus all of the DLCs included. It's going to have up to 4K visuals, improved character models, but essentially the game is the same. All right? So while I'm excited, because I definitely liked the game the first time around, I do know that this game does get monotonous about halfway through. So I do want to play it. Absolutely, I'm excited to play it. This is a game I haven't played in 10 years, and Alan Wake was really big at the time. Like, it was actually very popular when it came out. But at the same time, I'm very happy that today I'm a live streamer, because I actually feel like this will be a game where, because I have a live streaming audience, all right, I will essentially be able to, how do I say it? How do I say it? Let me put it this again. Because I'm an interactive streamer, normally those times when I feel the game is monotonous, or I feel that the game is annoying, or the game is getting boring, we'll be able to interact and be entertained. You see what I'm saying? This is why being an interactive streamer is infinitely better than what I used to do. When I played Alan Wake back in the day, I literally sat around by myself playing games and filmed myself. There was no interaction. There was no stream chat. There was nothing. Okay? I got bored with Alan Wake because I was sitting around playing it by myself. It was the same shit over and over when it came to the gameplay. The plot was good, but the gameplay, yikes, it was repetitive. Okay? When it got better was when John Rambo came by for co-op. When he came for the conclusion of the game, it actually made it entertaining again because it was banter between us that made it more entertaining rather than just doing the same combat over and over. All right? So what I feel will happen is when we play it, because I do want to play it. Absolutely, I want to play it. All right? It's going to start off strong. About halfway through, it's going to falter. But then because we're talking and having a good time on the stream together, it's going to make it way more entertaining to continue on with the plot. And maybe it'll actually be a better playthrough than the original because we will have that interactive aspect to it. You see what I'm saying? Instead of it just being me playing it and getting kind of bored with the repetition, it'll be, all right, this is great. We get to actually, have fun interactions and talk. And if there's a bunch of boring, repetitive enemies, screw that. It's not a big deal because at least we're having a conversation and enjoying it, right? So that's what I feel. I feel like it actually might be a pretty good playthrough. And I'm excited for this. Now, the other thing is, the other rumor is that if this game does well, if this remaster does well, then there may be a sequel, which is what everyone asked for years and years ago. They said, I can't believe they never made an Alan Wake 2. Because even with all the DLCs and everything, the game still has a lot of unanswered questions and definitely could open itself up to another game. Well, over the years, this game studio went on to make games like Quantum Break, and then most recently Control. And Control even had plot lines and a major DLC that tied into Alan Wake. You see? So, why not? There obviously is a desire for it. There is a desire to see more Alan Wake. People from back in the day who liked the game want more and been waiting a decade for it. So if this remake sells well, they're going to put time and resources and redirect them into making a sequel to Alan Wake. Which in my opinion would be good because you'd probably get rid of a lot of the outdated gameplay elements from 10 years ago and maybe make the game more interesting, more modernized stuff. I think that would be good. Yes, there was a spin-off 360 game, Squishy, and it was very confusing because that game, like, you're not Alan Wake. You're playing as the writer who wrote Alan Wake. As weird as that sounds, like, what it is like, it's kind of like Inception. You're like a game within a game or whatever. That's kind of what it was. And even by the end of that spin-off game, there's no definitive ending. It's not clear, really. It's very confusing. So people have wanted a full-fledged Alan Wake sequel and didn't get it. Reverse says, well, what was it then? It's called American Nightmare. How can I explain it? All right. American Nightmare was what Miles Morales was to Spider-Man the video game. There you go. That's exactly what it was. It was like a standalone expansion. It played incredibly similarly to the original game, but had unique plot and unique elements that kind of continued it. But even then, when it ended, it didn't have a definitive ending. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. So I'm excited. I hope this is true. I mean, it is true. We know it's coming out. We just don't have a date yet. Like I said, the rumored date is October 5th. I don't know how that would work. Let's take a look at the game release schedule. If indeed it is October 5th, all right, that would mean it's actually going to beat out games like Far Cry 6 and Metroid Dread. Because here's the game release schedule right now. You guys ready? Life is Strange True Colors is on the 10th. That's this Friday. Deathloop is on Tuesday the 14th. Diablo 2 Resurrected is on September 23rd. Kena Bridge of Spirits and Lost Judgment both come out on September 24th. Then the next major release that I had listed here was Far Cry 6 on October 7th, Metroid Dread on October 8th, Back 4 Blood on October 12th, and Battlefield 2042 on October 22nd, you see? So, if it did come out in between there, I mean, yeah, it would have a little bit of opportunity, I guess, to kind of sneak in. But at the same time, I don't know. Especially because, again, the game is very lengthy. I wonder if there would be enough time to really focus in, you know? Well, we'll see. If it's October 5th, it's October 5th. We don't know yet. It's kind of weird that it's less than a month away and we don't even have that date set in stone yet. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got for you for game news. I hope that was informative. Let's get to shout-outs, shall we? Let's start with YouTube shout-outs. So let's jump over to my little YouTube queue. We start off today with a super chat from Nathan Zakara, who says, Phil, what are your top 3 games of all time? Mine are Metal Gear Solid 3, Ocarina of Time, and Old School RuneScape. Excuse me. I couldn't necessarily narrow it down to 3. I'll just toss out some of my favorite games of all time. Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Final Fantasy 4 and 6, Chrono Trigger, Street Fighter 2 and its other versions. My favorite version is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Probably original Mass Effect, BioShock. Original BioShock, that is. Man. I would argue with more modernized games, probably Dragon Quest 11, probably Yakuza 7. I mean, obviously God of War was outstanding. Really liked the new God of War. You know, I'm just trying to put my fingers on some of the best games that I feel I've played in my life. And those would probably be the ones that come to mind. So there you go. Dark Souls? No. Dark Souls is like bottom of the barrel. How could you even say that? Chad B did a super chat and says, I just started Pillars of Eternity. Any tips? No, I've never played Pillars of Eternity, Chad B. I don't even know anything about it. What kind? I don't even know what kind of RPG that is. What is Pillars of Eternity? All I know is that it's an RPG because I've heard the name. But that's all I know. I don't even know anything about the gameplay style or nothing. Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster comes out tomorrow. Yeah, but sadly, they're so dumb. Square Enix, in all their stupidity, they're only releasing them for mobile and PC. And people were like, duh, what about console? Oh, well, we don't know if there's a market for it on console. It's like, ultimate facepalm. What? You don't know if there's a market for classic JRPGs that were originally released for only consoles on consoles. You don't know if there's a market. Like, are you fucking stupid? And the answer is, yes, they are fucking stupid. They are that stupid they don't realize people would buy those games on console. Because I would. So right now, it's not a concern of mine to even think about those games, but maybe long term, they'll put them on console. Okay? Alright, now we swing to tip contributions for the day. Alright, and we start off with Graceful Phoenix, who tipped me $1.50, and said the true beauty of a self-inquiring sentient universe is lost on those who elect to walk the intellectually vacuous path of comfortable paranoid fantasies, i.e., your trolls and detractors who start and believe conspiracy theories about me and you. Yeah. Oh, I know. I know, because every day I see it. I see the most ludicrous, stupid shit. Like, I'll make a Twitter comment. Someone will respond to the Twitter comment in a very intelligent way. Alright? And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, I see a response from that person who I had an intelligent conversation with. And they're responding to, oh, I don't care about any of that. I'm just responding to the original. Like, what are they talking about? Come to find out, one of these idiots, who I've blocked 100 years ago because the guy's a moron, literally sits there and looks for every person who responds to anything on my Twitter account with a conspiracy theory. Yeah. So I'll post up, I don't know, for example, I'll post up about, man, I feel that these content creators that put up paid advertisement videos for games, they're shills and it's not right, and people are gullible and they'll buy games as a direct result of that. And someone will respond and say, yeah, it's really bad because even though they say paid advertisement, those people seem to be kind of gullible and they'll just do whatever they're told by their favorite content creator, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. 2 days later, I see a response from the guy saying, "Oh, I don't care about that. You know, what is it?" So I click on it. It's someone who I blocked. You click on it. Oh, Phil plays WWE champions and he spends money on mobile games and blah blah blah. Like, what? The fuck does it have to do with anything? What are you even talking about? This is a conversation about a particular topic, and you are such a nut job. You interject yourself into the conversation and completely derail it with your conspiracy theory nut job bullshit. It's really like people with the tin hats on. They're jumping out. Did you know the aliens? And they're fucking, oh, did you know about QAnon conspiracies? And oh, the vaccine makes you grow 4 arms. Like, what are you talking about, man? You're nuts. And these people are allowed to do this. They're allowed to act like that all over the internet. They're just fucking crazy, man. They're out of their minds. And this is what I mean. It sucks because I can only sort out that crap enough where, like, for example, we don't want it on the streams, so we moderate it, right? I don't want to see it on my timeline, so I block those people. But there's nothing to stop those people from going and harassing everyone else on the fucking internet. Which is why, whenever you search for DSP or DSPGaming on YouTube, all you see are the crazy negative conspiracy shit. You don't see anything positive about me. Despite the fact I'm a 13-year-long content creator who's pumped out over 70,000 gameplay videos, the most prolific YouTuber and gameplay creator of the past decade, when you're talking down to one person, right? I've put out more raw gameplay of anyone on this planet in the last decade and made a living doing it. But no one wants to hear that. They want to hear about the latest conspiracy theory that some fucking idiot, mouth-drooling fucking idiot is talking about. It's just out of control. And I'm tired of it. It's like, geez. And what's funny about it is, people are actually tired of it. Like, now I'm starting to see people are like, dude, you are the broken fucking record. No one cares about the dumb shit. Really. No one cares about it. Stop it with the fucking crazy bullshit. People are tired of your nonsense. Just people want to have an intelligent conversation. They don't want every moment of every day being taken over by nut job conspiracies. They're done with it. At one point, you jump on the bandwagon and you laugh with it. That was like a year ago, you know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when these things just keep going on. And these people won't give up on them. It gets to the point of insanity, you know? Like, what kind of a person hyper-focuses and latches onto that kind of a narrative to the point where anything said about a person has to be about that narrative, right? I'll be honest, like, really, the only other place that I see that happen is politics. I saw the same amount of insanity with Trump and with these vaccines the last year. Like, this is where I've seen that level of nut job thinking. You know what I mean? The same level of, oh, Phil, conspiracy theories about Phil is, oh, the vaccine is bad for you, so inject yourself with horse hormones or some shit, or whatever they're doing, these crazy idiots, that they're killing themselves doing. It's the same level of crazy. Really, it's the same exact level of crazy. And I don't understand why it's allowed. I don't understand why it's allowed to be rampant all over the internet. When you know someone's an idiot, shut them the fuck down. Don't let someone just spew nonsense. And the thing is, these people, they literally talk themselves, right, into a corner about it, too, to the point where they just believe it. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Now, here's the thing. Everyone knows about the crazy conspiracy theories these idiots come up with. Phil's a pedophile, Phil's a scammer, Phil with the mobile games, Phil with this or that. They're all these generalized conspiracy theories, right? If any of them were true, there would have already been definitive proof, evidence. It would have already come out. It would have already been there, done. The truth is, none of it is true. It's all fabricated bullshit. As I've said many times over these years, what these people do is they take a little nugget of truth about something, a little snippet, a little nugget, and they turn it into a giant exploded nuclear bomb. You know what I'm saying? It's like they take a tiny little thing and then they use that to extrapolate 40 million times until it's something that it's not, and then they claim it's true. Because these people are actually that crazy to think that it's true. Like, I'm not even kidding you. In that same thread, someone responds like, yeah, it's absolutely 100% proven that this happened. Like, what are you talking about? There's nothing happened. It didn't happen. You've actually drank so much of this Kool-Aid that you think these things happened factually, even though they didn't. You've seen enough falsified evidence. You've seen enough people speculate and slander and defame me that you have talked yourself into believing that it's true. And this is what they all do. This is what they all do with these crazy conspiracy theories. They take facts and they don't want to accept the facts, or they want to accept a crazy truth that has no factual basis. So they just whip themselves into such an insane fervor that now becomes the fact, because it's groupthink. Because there's so many people think the same thing or say the same thing, it must be true. Wrong. That is not fact. You need actual evidence, scientific proof of something before you can say it's a fact. This is why the world is in so much danger right now with things like COVID, because people are so fucking stupid. They just want to believe what they want to believe with no evidence of anything. And then they do dumb shit. Last year, they were taking the fucking fish stuff, right? They were taking fish medicine. This year, they're taking fucking horse dewormer. It's like, what are you going to do next? Shove a muffler up your ass? Oh, yeah, that cures COVID. But they'll believe it. They're that stupid. It is the same case. It's these conspiracies on the internet. They're all same case bullshit. These people are completely stupid. Seriously. It doesn't make any sense at all, man. Right? It doesn't make any sense at all. It's just, they're wild nonsense. Wild nonsense. So, I hear you. Anyone who is subject to this kind of abuse, because it's abuse. It's harassment. It absolutely is. You can call it whatever you want. Cyberbullying, harassment, abuse, whatever you want to call it. All right? It's absolutely positively heinous shit. Because people can say whatever they want and get away with it because they're anonymous on the fucking internet. They have no repercussions for doing conspiracies like that. They don't. They you know what I mean? They can say or do whatever they want. And what does it hurt them? It doesn't. But if they can convince stupid people that it's true, those stupid people now go out and do fucked up stuff. Really? Really? So, to me, being firsthand in that shit, man, just be happy if you've never been involved with this kind of shit. Seriously, I've never in my life been involved with a conspiracy theory until I became a content creator. Not once. I'm not someone who was for conspiracy theories. I didn't give two fucks. Oh, it really happened with 9/11. I don't really care. I can't control it. I can't change it. I'm not going to sit here and talk about, oh, how do steel beams melt from jet fuel? I don't care. How about that? There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not, I have my own life to live. I got my own shit to worry about. Not sit here and talk about crazy ass conspiracy theories of things that are just wild and insane, right? And to me, I just I would never in my life. I have a busy, positive social life. I have a wife. I have a cat. I have a house to maintain. You know what I mean? Outside of me being a full-time streamer, which takes up a lot of my time, I got a lot of other shit to worry about. That's way more important to me than sitting around with my thumb up my ass thinking about conspiracies about people and other things. I just got more important shit in my life to do. These people don't. The people who do this shit have no life. They are pathetic because you don't hyper-focus on something like that unless you're pathetic. If you have better things to do, you do them. You know what I'm saying? The problem is these people they don't have anything in their life that's positive to occupy their time. So they focus on this crazy shit on the internet and more people who think just like them. And now you get to that cultish groupthink mentality of bullshit. That's why there's entire websites like this. I'm not just talking about me and conspiracy theory. I'm talking about in general. There's entire fucking social networks, entire sites based on this crazy thinking about all kinds of shit on this planet. That's just wild insanity. So keep yourself out of it. Do yourself all a favor. Trust me. The last thing you want to do is put a toe into that disgusting fetid pool. Putting your foot into it is like stepping or going face first right into this sandwich. Can you imagine if you tripped and fell face first into this fetid, festering mound of disgusting slop? That's basically what it's like. That is exactly what it is like. So you don't want to do that. You want to stay away from the sandwich. Stay away from the shit sandwich, okay? Good. All right. Continuing on. Anso Kamaru Tip me $4.20. And what's funny is Blender Bottle says people in the chat seem to forget trolls were planning to break into Phil's house and divorce him from his wife. And I hate to say it, but it's what he actually just said is true. That's not a conspiracy. These idiots publicly posted up plans to break into my house 2 years ago when I went to Connecticut to visit my parents. They actually were trying to get blueprints to the fucking house to see the layout of the house so they could plan a break-in. This is true. They posted it up and then they deleted it later. And people were actually trying to file for divorce for me and my wife, to get us to divorce each other behind the scenes, even though we weren't involved with the process. They were trying to forge our identities and documents to try to pretend like we were trying to divorce each other, as if this was somehow going to work and affect us in any way. I don't know, because there's absolutely no fucking way that that could happen. But they actually were doing this. They had the process moving and everything. That's how dumb these people are. So when you say, oh, Phil's just, he's just saying this, he doesn't mean it or it's not true. It's absolutely true what I'm telling you. The insanity of these crazy fucking people has no bounds. These people have done fucked up things to me and my family to try to hurt us for no reason, because they're nuts, because they believe every crazy conspiracy theory. So, yeah. Let's continue. And let's get off that subject and let's get to positive stuff, okay? Anto Kamaru has tipped me $4.20 and says, literally finished watching the latest videos of Hades and good shit, bro. Sucks that I missed it live, but here's to finally finding your playstyle. Fun fact, the spear build is actually extremely broken, but it was clear it just didn't fit your playstyle. I think if I played more of the spear build with and I kept getting the same kind of build that I had that one time that was a really good run, I would have been successful. But the thing is, every time you play the game, what you get is random. So if you're not getting the same build over and over, it's hard to kind of get good at a build. You know what I'm saying? And now what I've found is now that I'm getting all the, what are they called? The favors or the gifts from the gods. Now that I'm able to kind of control the boons that I'm getting early on, it's actually better because now I can build a build that I want, even though there's still randomness to it. You know what I mean? I can generally, if I want Zeus abilities, I can generally get Zeus abilities early. If I want Poseidon, I can get Poseidon. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. There you go. Thank you very much, Anso Kamaru, for the tip. Oh, yeah, Froggy the Kid, I was swatted before. Many years ago, but I was swatted. 2015. Daniel says, my belief is there's 3 types of people who interact with your content. Fans, people who like to troll but are harmless, and then people who wish you actual harm, which sucks. That's right. And here's this problem. It all started off with fans and people who wanted to troll me but were harmless. But what people didn't realize over the years is that every time someone made a new This Is How You Don't Play, or a new video that basically slandered or defamed me, there's going to be people who believe that as fact. Yes, those videos are gross mischaracterizations and exaggerations for humorous purposes. I think we can all agree watching a This Is How You Don't Play only factoring in my fails and my rage moments. Those are funny, but that's not a characterization of what the real stream is, you see? But people are stupid. This is the problem. On Earth, a lot of people are just fucking dumb. And they believe it as fact. So when you think that that's all that I am, oh, he's just a negative guy who swears at game developers and sucks at games, but somehow he makes a living. I'm very angry and jealous that this is possible. I hate this guy. How can I ruin his life? And that's what's happened, is over the years, you've got a group of people who have such vitriol and hatred towards me for uncharacteristic reasons. Like nothing that's true. They've talked themselves into believing conspiracies for so long that is factually true to them, and now they hate me for it, and they want to hurt me. And that's crazy, because again, the intention of things like This Is How You Don't Play and stuff was never to hurt me or my family. Not once were those videos made intently to try to hurt me. I think at first, people thought it was funny, then they realized, oh, I can get popular on YouTube for this kind of drama shit, so they just made them for the fact that it was clickbait and they could make a ton of money on the videos, you know? But then it just became, how can we say the most ridiculous, incorrect, we know it's wrong, we know it's fake, but we'll say the most ridiculous thing and we'll skew the facts to make it look real so that I can get clickbait views on YouTube, and then it becomes, oh, I hate Phil because of this complete bullshit. Someone literally just said moments ago in the chat, and of course they were banned for it, that, oh, your ex-girlfriend was 17 years old when you groomed her to be with her, and then, completely false. There's zero evidence of that because it's not true. I didn't ever talk to my ex until she was of legal age. I never even talked to her or met her. But these people have told themselves the bullshit for so many years, they just believe it. It can't have factual evidence because it's not true, but somehow they think it is. You see how nuts they are? These people are absolutely fucking insane. In-fucking-sane. But anyway, yeah, and it really does suck because I do feel that things would be very different for me if this didn't happen this way, you know? Right now, there's content creators out there who do similar things to what I do, and they're able to not have the abuse. So they can have things like sponsored streams. They can have product sponsorships of things that they actually believe in. They have opportunities to go and go to media events and talk directly to game companies and have fun, positive relationships. They can actually have meet and greets with fans and things and not have to worry that someone's going to be nuts and do something crazy. You know what I mean? Like, my life would be so different if it hadn't been for bad luck of This Is How You Don't Play essentially recruiting the dumbest people on the planet. Because that's what happened. And by the way, I don't blame... At one point, I did blame those who made This Is How You Don't Play for it. I don't blame them anymore. What I blame now is these people who allow this crazy shit to be propagated, right? It shouldn't. You shouldn't allow crazy conspiracy to cover social media, yet they allow it. And that's fucked up. Alright, anyway, continuing on. Apparently, I abused cats, tipped $1.50 and said, be more careful with your words. I was upset by fat-phobic comments you made last night as to your logic. A fat cat means abuse. I personally think having an underweight cat is abuse, and you're malnourishing them. It is. It goes both ways. See, again, it sounds to me like you see the world as black and white. I don't. When you have a pet, alright? And I'm going to elaborate on my comments again because I did yesterday and you've completely ignored them. You chose to completely ignore them to try to say something negative about me that didn't happen. If you have a pet, it is your responsibility as the pet owner to provide the best possible and healthy environment for that pet. Now, every pet's different. Some pets need more exercise, some need less. Some need more food, some need less. Some need more protein, some need less, okay? In general, if you have a pet like a dog or a cat, you should not be feeding that cat human food or the dog human food. They're not supposed to be eating human food. Human food is bad for them. It's too high in calories. A lot of the times it contains ingredients they're not supposed to having in their digestive tract. That's why there's specified food for them. And no, I'm not talking about, oh, go buy them, you know, the cheapest possible brand of cat food or dog food. At all. That's the worst. You need to get the food that's actually approved by vets, the ones that have high protein, low filler. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get the raw food, and that's really good and healthy for them. It all depends. And listen, it's up to you to determine what kind of diet you want to give your pet. But the point I was making is that if your pet is incredibly overweight because you feed it human food all the time, that's directly your fault, and you are responsible for the health of that pet, and you have mistreated your pet and abused them. An overweight pet is directly the result of an abusive owner that is just lax in what they do with that pet. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that you would have a pet and just let it eat whatever. Oh, I bought McDonald's, so I gave him french fries and cheeseburger today. Are you out of your fucking mind? Even a human's not supposed to be eating that food. And you just gave it to your dog or cat, which has absolutely no way to know that that food's bad for it, and you just poisoned it. Really? So if you listen to me talking facts, because that's all these are. These are facts. It's not an opinion. This is a scientific fact. Go talk to any vet. They'll tell you as much. If you feel what I'm telling you is offensive, what you really need to do is look in the mirror at yourself and say, man, maybe I'm not a good pet owner. Because if my cat is incredibly fat, and it's not for medical reasons, like maybe your cat is diabetic or has an issue that makes it overweight, that's different. If your cat's fat because you are a bad pet owner or you give it bad food all the time, that's your fault. That's the same as if you had a baby and you overfed the baby and now it's a giant blimp. That's your fault. Not the baby's fault. The baby's not smart enough to know the difference. It's your fault. And you got to take responsibility for that. And if you have an issue with me saying that on my stream, you're the one who has the issue, not me. Because it's a fact. No, I didn't declaw my cat, you fucking piece of shit. As I said multiple times, he was already declawed. He was a rescue cat, and you could go fuck yourself because I would never declaw a cat. Seriously, lick my ass. That pisses me off when someone wants to say something like that on my stream. Fuck you. Okay. Captain DCW is here and has tipped me $10. Thank you, Captain. That is the biggest tip of the day so far. So let me get that up on the leaderboard, and thank you for the contribution. It's good to see you. Oops. And that gets us up to 16. And climbing. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm not in a bad mood at all, QB. It's just that certain topics will rile me up, and you're going to say that I abused my cat on the stream. You can expect to get all of the vitriol out of me that you're going to get. You don't say fucked up stuff like that to a pet owner who loves his cat as much as I do. Ooh, I got a burp. Excuse me. Shout out to an anonymous $5 tipper who says, I noticed you haven't really played strategy games like Civ. Would you ever consider this for your chill streams? Yes. I never really considered it because, quite frankly, most sim games aren't exactly the most fun to watch. Alright, just being honest, when it comes to games that people really enjoy watching me play, it's usually a game that has a lot of action, or, you know what I mean? Something that has a good story. Everyone likes narrative-based games because of the commentary I put on them and the reactions that I have to them. In reality, I'm not saying I would never play, or I've never played a Sim-style game. I mean, I played The Sims. I actually played Sims 4 when it was a new release back in the day on PC, if you guys remember. But basically, these games don't necessarily hold as much attention and an audience like other games. Alright? Now, for example, if you wanted to see me play a game like that, you're right. What it should be is like a chill night stream where, okay, guys, I'm only doing it like once a week. It's not a major playthrough. Come on by once a night, or once a week, excuse me, for a 2-hour stream, and we sit and relax as I build my civilization and we see what happens this week, right? I haven't never played a Civ game. I know about them, and I know what kind of gameplay they have, but I've never actually played them myself, so I don't know how riveting or anything it would really be for an audience. Okay? You know, when I played Sims 4, which definitely is different from Civ, it was fun because you could make wacky characters and see what weird things would happen. But it wasn't, even then, like that game, which was meant to kind of be wacky and over the top, I only played it, what, maybe 10, 12 hours, and I kind of got bored of it after that, you know? So, I don't know. It's something possible. Like, another example of that would be that Diablo 2 remaster's coming out soon, and people have asked me would I play that as a chill late night stream, because again, much like a Civ game where it's kind of repetitive gameplay and stuff, that one is definitely grind, you see? And it would be like, man, I definitely need an interactive stream to make that exciting, because if not, man, that shit would be boring, right? To watch, at least. Not to play. To watch, it would be boring. So, yeah, let me put it, I would consider it. Absolutely, I would consider it for a chill night stream. I think that it would fit at some point. Okay? But, I guess we'll see. Alright, my friends. So that is it for the pre-stream. I've gotten through all the shout-outs from people with brains. There's a few shout-outs that came from people that are brainless. But I'm not going to shout them out because they're brainless. They're fucking dumbasses. But anyway, let's end the pre-stream. Let's take a break. I have to use the restroom. Alright? When I come back, it'll be Psychonauts 2. And we're actually in the bowling stage. We actually almost beat it, but then I ran out of time, so we're going to have to run through it again quick. Then we have a mailroom stage, and then we actually head into the finale of the game, which I heard is quite lengthy, so should be fun, quirky fun coming up. Thank you guys for your support here on the pre-stream, and I will see you guys in just a few for Psychonauts 2. Sound good? Alright guys, see you in a bit.